guys, Jake Hoback Knives. Another edition of what's coming out of the Hoback Shop. I think this is edition 57. I'll have to double check. I'll put it in the comments. Just running through, gearing up for a run of A15s and A8s. Had to make some adjustments, little things like that. Doing some machine work. Got a blade roughed out in aluminum. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this already, but looking pretty good. It's all set up for the new bearing system, and stop pin track is moved. The lock bar is actually pushed in a little better, so that'll be good. So yeah, I'm just, blades are ready to rock. I'm going to do a test run on the A15, that's an A8. And then right now, well, here, let's go through this. I got a batch of fixed blades coming back, so I'm just doing handles. These ones are for a meat. Turned out pretty good, so I'm going to run a few more. Hopefully I have enough G10. We'll see. And currently on the mill, what is running is a mount for this router. It's a Bosch Colt. If you guys are on CNC forums, you'll appreciate this, because this is a pretty popular one for CNC routers and stuff. Small little 1-horse router. I got a real nice spindle for it, or a collet for an 1/8 inch collet, because normally they come with a 1/4 inch. This was nice. It was like 50, 60 bucks though. It's got that, and right now I'm building the mount for it. So it is boring a 2.336 diameter hole, which is the diameter of this. So it'll basically be like a clamshell clamp that'll clamp here. There will be a flat plate that bolts behind it, and then there will be a mount, another clamshell above that will mount to the spindle up here. And that'll give me, I'll lose Z-axis height, or travel I should say, but it'll afford me the entire working area of the mill still with this router bit. I'm doing this because I run currently this end mill. You probably can't even see that, but that is 43 thousandths in diameter. 43 or 46. That's what I cut my lock bar cuts with. And the Tormach is only goes up to 5,140 RPM, so it's a little too slow to spin that. I actually need to be spinning that bit at like 17 or 20,000 RPM. So that's what the router's for. It's gonna, I'll run a separate program and it'll cut my lock bars for me with that 43,000, and then I'll just pull it off the spindle and run everything else normal. So that'll work out pretty well. So just finishing that up, take a few days to program it and build it and all that fun stuff. So I've just been fiddle farting around, getting a few things done, cleaning the shop, if you could possibly tell. I doubt it. It's a little cleaner. Made this fixture plate that this plate of aluminum is sitting on. That's an 1.5 inch thick plate of aluminum, by the way. This fixture plate has got about 600 and some odd holes in it, and they're all tapped for 1/4 by 20, and I've got little Mighty Bite clamps that I use for holding things down. So far so good. It's nice for the one-off parts, stuff like that. So yeah, just finished mounting that up, and it made a monstrous pile of chips for drilling a lot of holes. And amazingly, this little 200 thou drill bit, it's still got life in it after drilling 600 some odd holes, so it's kind of nice to know. So let's see what else is going on here. Not a whole lot. I'm all geared up. I got a ton of tie down there. I'm waiting on my steel to come in from New Jersey Steel Baron. So I'm building the router head. I'm going to test some code for the locks, or excuse me, for the frames in some aluminum plate. Make sure that's all squared away, and as soon as the steel gets in, I'm going to cut 15 A8s and 15 A15 blades and send them out for heat treat and start working on the frames, and they'll start coming out pretty quick after that. Oh, well, I gotta cut the lock inserts too, since everybody gets steel lock inserts now. Even if you didn't pay for them, everybody gets them just because I don't go back on innovative things that I'm doing. If you haven't paid for them, if I created something new, you still get it. So figure it's only fair. Been waiting forever. So as I've said in the last YouTube video and the Instagram and all that, I'm still 2 months behind, but I'm catching up. So bear with me, guys. Anybody that's going to be in this batch of A8s or A15s, I will contact you, so you don't have to worry about contacting me. So don't worry about it, guys. Get this blade, all these frames done, and I got a buddy who sent me, wipe the dust off of it because it's been sitting here for a while, making an A8 out of this Damascus. So should be pretty cool. I'm gonna run the code and the frames with regular titanium first because that's a freaking $500 chunk of Damascus. He also sent me some, what do you call this? Texture Tech Gila. 61 bucks. It's expensive, but it's pretty cool stuff. This is gonna be an overlay for, I think it's an A15. I'll have to double check my books. Same guy was the Damascus, but 486 bucks for that. That stuff's expensive. Now you guys know why makers charge so much for it. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. So stay tuned. Alright, so we're just kind of bouncing around between projects here, waiting for fixed blades to come back from heat treat. They should be here Friday. So those of you that have been waiting on fixed blades forever, I'll be contacting you here shortly if you've been waiting, let you know what's going on. Just working on code for handles. This is a set of Perseverance handles. A little drop of coolant in there, but turned out pretty good. Got to adjust my code a little bit. Had a little foobar there. Grabbed the wrong tool. Whoops. Yeah. 3/16 end mill for this instead of a quarter. So yeah, the height offset was a little wrong. Broke that, but I might be able to salvage the handle. I'm not sure though. I'll have to check. Hopefully I have enough G10 for all of this. I think I got 25 or 30 fixed blades I need to do real quick. So we'll see. But code looks good. A couple of very minor tweaks. Code for the meat handles turned out pretty good. So we're pretty good to go here. Work on the Beta 5s and the Beta 1 handles, see how those go. I got my router project finished. So, my awesome coolant splash guard. Just about 5 thousandths clearance all the way around this nut here so that the coolant doesn't get up in here because it's an open chassis. But yeah, beefy. 1.5 inch thick aluminum here, inch thick aluminum here. And basically, this allows me to go over to the mill. It sits, clamps onto the spindle here. Let me pause you and I'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, so clamped it on. I've got, I don't know if you'll be able to see, there we go. Got a couple of scribe lines here that align it. I need to build a mount for the back that will go up inside this pocket and expand so that it indicates perfectly every time. I got it repeatable. It's a precision ground surface on the top to this precision ground surface here, so as long as I get it flat when I clamp it, it aligns perfectly. As you can see in my section here, it's 1/8 thou off in the Y and 24 thousandths off in the X, relative to the spindle of the machine itself. So not too big a deal. When I'm setting up my my fixturing, what I'll do is I'll just set that as an offset. Basically, pretty much the only thing I'm going to use this for is cutting lock bars on frames. So, turned out pretty good. Haven't really had a chance to use it, but I fired it up and works pretty good. Now you can see the use for the splash guard. I got to get a little bit longer piece of line lock because it's not quite enough to get into the tool here. It might reach, but it'll be a little tight. So I got to get a little longer line lock here. I'm going to upgrade the coolant system here in a couple of months when I can fully enclose the mill. That'll make a big difference in how I run things. But yeah, so took a couple days to make it, but so far it turned out pretty good. So that's that. Doing that, I already showed you guys the A8 blade that I machined out, and the handles. So just got a bit more machining to do, and we'll go from there. So I'll probably add a little more to the video when I get the fixed blades in to show y'all what I got. And then I'm going to start cranking those handles out and get the sheaths done so I can get those out, because I really got to run a thing of A8s and A15 folders. So testing code for those right now. Not much else going on besides the shop being a disaster, and I'm in the middle of building my wife a dresser, so it's always interesting. And I gotta clean up some chips back here. I think I kind of made a mess. So that's that. So that's it for now. Alright, doing a little more code testing. It's a chunk of 3V. It's like 220 thousandths thick. Testing out my first ever lock inserts. So it'll be a hardened steel lock insert for this batch of A8s and A15s. Right now I'm testing the A8, and you probably won't be able to see it. I'm hoping it'll lift up here in a minute so you can see. Let me zoom in a bit. Maybe. Come on, lift up. Just barely see it there. You probably have no idea what that is, but I do, and it's exciting. So this is a crazy long program for such a tiny little part. Zoom back out here. It fits inside this pocket here. Granted, on this is way thicker than 3/16, so the part's actually not the correct thickness. This would normally be all the way through a through hole. It's like 86 thousandths deep in this pocket here, and then the insert press fits into this little puzzle piece type thing, and then screws in with two 440 screws. Tolerances are pretty close. You can probably barely see that, but that lip right there, where the bearing pocket and the lock bar come together, that lip of aluminum, which will be titanium, is only 20 thousandths. Tormach holds pretty good tolerances. I'm a bit impressed. I can throw the blade in here, and it's freaking dead nuts on, which is awesome. So, doing the lock insert for testing the code. I just happen to have a couple of sheets of 3V laying around that I'm going to use for these ones. More than likely, from this point forward, after I eat this stuff up, I'll probably go with the same material for the lock insert as I will the blades. Just depends. Honestly, 3V is probably a really good choice for a lock insert since it's made to take a beating. Not that you got a lot of force going into it, but you constantly have that lock bar hammering against the piece of steel, and that kind of peens it. So you want something fairly impact resistant, I'm thinking. So 3V may be the way to go. Honestly, I really doubt you'll ever see any wear with a steel lock insert, but you never know. Better safe than sorry. I always try to over-engineer everything. So yeah, I got this code worked out real well. Just had one quick little change to a tab here. So this code's good to go. I'm gonna flip it, run the other side, the outside face, and if that's good to go, I'll probably won't even test the non-lock side because it's all pretty much the same code, just mirrored. So I'll start running it. I'm gonna run these first. I gotta go test some A15 code. Yeah, so coming right along. Always feels like it's going slow, especially when you're needing to machine a bunch of stuff and get money coming in, but it's going pretty good. I'm pretty happy. It's Friday, so let you enjoy some strange machining you can't barely see. It's a whole heck of a lot of code for a little tiny lock bar. I'm doing a 5/10 step over with a 5,000th depth of cut. Because I did something kind of neat with the portion where the HRD screws in. It's right on the edge of a chamfer, and so I put a boss around it so that you had more thread engagement. And then problem with that is that when you put a boss on a chamfer, you can't just use a chamfer mill to chamfer it. So I run through with an 1/8 inch flat nose 4-flute end mill, and I'm doing a 5/10 step over. So this whole program for one lock insert takes about 45 minutes with all the tool changes. So always interesting, but I want it to be perfect, so we'll see how it goes. I'll update you when it gets done. Quick little shop note here. I built a little tool rack organizer. Holds all my tools, holds my whatever the heck you call the keys for the chucks, and then holds 40 tools. I have a bunch of set screw holders, but I don't really use them, so I haven't thrown them in there yet. These are all just ER20 collet holders with all the tools it takes to make a freaking folder. If anybody says that CNC machining is easy and takes less work, they have no idea what they're talking about, because I currently have 32 tools that I use just about every time I do machine work on a folder. So there you have it. Yeah, tool height offset gauge. This is nice. Just hook up the cord to the Tormach and tell it what your tool height is. It makes life a lot easier. So yeah, shop tip, organization. Obviously you can see my shipping area. It needs to be gone through and fixed. There's flat rate boxes in there somewhere. But I'm getting there, slowly but surely. Eventually, I'll get all the woodworking projects out of the shop and clean things up. Here's the spy pick. I did a bunch of work on Instagram on this, so you guys have probably already seen this, but this is what I use for cutting lock bars on my frames. It's a 46 thousandths diameter end mill in a very expensive little collet holder in collet from a company. I don't remember what the name is, Precision Collets or something like that. They custom make the collets for this. It's a Bosch Colt 1 horsepower handheld router, compact router. Works pretty good. Basically, got these clamshell mounts, mounts this, and then this clamshell mount actually clamps to the spindle body of the mill. And then I just run a tool height offset to compensate for the length in my Z-axis, and then I don't lose any table travel, and I can run the entire 10 by 18 inches of travel area of my table and cut lock bars on all 15 frames without losing anything. I broke a bajillion of these little end mills the last time I did that run on Quabacks because I couldn't spin the end mill fast enough. So now I have 30,000 RPM capability, so you'll see some better engravings and stuff like that from me soon. I got this pretty repeatable. I can get this mounts repeatedly up to 1/1000th of an inch. It is currently, I need to continue to mess with it, but it's currently 26 thousandths out in the X and 8 thousandths out in the Y, or opposite. 26 in Y, 8 in X, repeatably, which is nice. So I can just set my offsets for right now, and it goes right back to 0. But what I'm going to do is toss these mounts on the surface grinder and grind off exactly what I need to make this perfectly parallel and straight below or in line with the spindle of the Tormach. So that'll make my life a lot easier, because then I can run it as a subroutine and cut lock bars and then continue on my merry way. So pretty nice. The only thing I lose is Z height, and it really doesn't matter because nothing I really ever cut is over 1 inch tall, so it works out pretty well. So that's that, guys. I'll get right back with you when this lock bar gets done cutting. Okay, just finished up with that lock insert. So, let me turn this light off. There we go. Get her to focus. That's not too shabby. Surface finish is real nice. The chamfer turned out really well. Hopefully you can kind of see that. So it's a boss with a chamfer on the boss. And just for reference, just for an A, that's my thumb. Granted, I got sausage fingers, but it's a pretty small part. There's the over travel prevention nub. So, turned out pretty good. Looks like if I turn them sideways, I can get too tall and probably 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could probably get 8 out of them on a 2 inch by 6 inch piece. That's not bad. So 2 of them will give me enough for a batch plus an extra one. I'll have to switch this over to on its side and then pop another one above it and do some transformation to put them all out. But that should work out pretty well. So yeah, I think I'll just run this whole thing in lock faces. That'll be a day's worth of machining, but pretty cool. I can get it to get the camera to focus. There we go. Turned out pretty good. Well, on to the next project. Oh yeah. Steel lock insert. It's the aluminum test piece. Fits freaking perfectly. Couldn't ask for a better fit. Now you can see how I do my over travel prevention. Right here, this little nub contacts the frame when you push the lock. There is 10 thousandths clearance between this and this. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have to drop a little pocket in here, maybe just a little tiny bit more just to clearance it, but we'll see. I gotta test it. I actually touched off 5 thousandths too thin on this on the surface grinder. I knocked it down to like 180 or something like that, or 182. Should be 187, or 3/16. But the fit is absolutely wonderful. Let's see if I can get into the light here. Let's see. So that worked out really well. So hard to get the outline look in here, but these are tabs, these little spots here. So just imagine these are removed. Let me see. Grab a Sharpie, my trusty Sharpie. If I can get the lid off with one hand. You, come off of there. There we go. So, just to give you a better idea of what this is going to look like. Looks better for me, I bet. But there we go. That gives you a better idea of what it looks like. So, I'm very excited about that. Just got to run an op to counterbore for these heads. I can't counterbore full depth. I'm going to try to find some shorter, like low clearance panhead screws for this, or socket cap screws. If not, I'll just grind them down, because I can only go in about, I think, 75 thousandths, which these are about 85 thousandths thick, so I might have to shave them down. They should still be completely usable though. I've shaved down about half depth before and still had them be pretty useful. Most of the time with these screws you can strip them before you can actually get them past their rated torque. So far so good. I'm going to tap this for HRD and we'll see how it looks. I'm going to pull it off there real quick and I'll show you. Alright, look at that little guy. Tiny little thing. I don't even know. This is a 1/4-inch tap. My sausage fingers can barely pick these dang things up. So a lot of machine work goes into these, but I have a feeling it's going to be well worth it. Mind the cutter marks. My 1/8-inch 4-flute carbide end mill had been used quite a bit on some carbon fiber and some G10 for some fixed blade handles I'm working on, so it's a little wore out. Time to replace it. But she's looking pretty good. The see if I can get it to focus on that. The chamfer. Come on. Focus. The chamfer turned out really well. You shouldn't be able to feel that boss at all, but it adds to the strength of the the threads there. Hard to get some lighting on this. So, voila. Steel lock inserts. That's that. Alright boys, never gonna have to deal with a sticky lock again. I'm excited. So, tapped it. How awesome is that? Looks like it actually belongs there. HRD roller D10. Yep. I'm gonna pop it in and see how it goes. Got to see if I need to adjust my D10 at all. Awesome. Looks like it works. Perfect. Hey guys, Jake Hoback Knives, week 58, I think. I don't know. I'm terrible. I need to keep up with that stuff. So just running through, finishing up these fixed blades, working on folders and all this fun stuff. So thought I'd do a quick snippet here of what I've gotten done. There's a couple of that already went out that I forgot to take video of, but batch beta 5s, meats, and perseverances. So this is the last fixed blade batch for the year. So more to come. Alright, so a couple more done today. Not sure how many more I'll get done for the day. It's already pushing 2 o'clock. Got to go pick up the wife from work. But got a couple of the 8-inch meats taken care of. Still slightly humorous every time I say that. Got a couple of 5 inches back here I'm going to finish grinding real quick. Beta 5s are ready for final grind, and as are the Perseverance. So we'll get those done pretty quick. Got some 6-inch ones and some 5-inch ones here. Different colors, G10 and carbon fiber. Right now I am running the bolt pattern on all my tie for the next couple batches of frames. I got 6 plates of 3/16 tie here. Those plates are 10 inches by 18 inches. So that is a lot of titanium and it's expensive. So the tried and true trusty Tormach is drilling my bolt pattern right now. I just do all of them at once since I've already got it set up, but basically just got my standard fixture plate underneath, and I actually just super glue these plates down. It's a pretty low pressure type operation. It's just drilling holes, so super glue holds up pretty well that I found. So this is plate number 5. I got one more of 3/16, and then I've got a plate of a 12 by 12 plate of 1/4 inch for backspacers. So I'll do those next. And yeah, sheaths. Got most of them cut out. Got to cut out a handful more, rivet them together, form them. So yeah, cool. Stay tuned. All right, so mind the noise. I got the mill running here with the router attachment, so it's kind of noisy, but currently cutting out all the insert stuff and just got done with all the pocketing inside. Just wanted to show you guys this little mini backup Hoback that I did. I've been doing a few of these. Well, I did a few of these. I've got a few of these bars down here from, gosh, I'm sorry buddy if I mess up your tag, but I think it's Roman Legionnaire. But he sent me some of this T76, the Rex 76, which is awesome stuff, really cool, hard to get. But we were doing some trading back and forth for that stuff. So I'm doing one for him. It's a little different than the last batch. These ones are 1/4 inch, they're beasts. 3 1/4 inch blade. I don't know what the handle is. Carbon fiber on both sides instead of orange G10 on one side. And then it's hard to tell, but a quick acid dip just to make it kind of look Parkerized or blued almost. It's black. Let's see if I can get it to show up. Let me grab this so you can kind of compare the finish. It's just nice dark, matches the carbon fiber really well. So figured I'd show that to you guys. I don't know when I'm going to have time to finish up the batch of these just because I got so much going on, but I'm going to try to do that one of these days here soon, but who knows. So stay tuned. Well, it's Friday, like pushing 6 o'clock, but I'm about finished up with. Alright, so got a few things done. All the fixed blades are all finished up at this point. The last couple that are going to ship out tomorrow. Did a little bit of a one-off here. It's got oil all over the blade because it's like 70% humidity and 95 degrees outside, so everything rusts like crazy around here. So did a satin finish with an acid stone wash flats on this one. Turned out pretty cool. I like it. Sterile. No logo on this one. But let me see if I can zoom. Maybe. Come on. Maybe not. Let's see if it'll zoom on this one, maybe. Hey. That's better. And it's Psalm 23 on all these ones. Having a heck of a time zooming on these. There we go. Had this leftover Hoback from just before blade. I had messed up the detent location on the blade itself, so I tossed it in a drawer, didn't even think about it, and I forgot all about it. And I had one guy that I'm working on, he was sitting there and really needing a knife, and he was up, so I dug through the drawer and I ended up finding another blade that I forgot I had cut, so I ground it out and replaced the blade. So, hence, we had one out of that batch of 15, so this is like number 13 out of that batch for a blade show. That turned out pretty good. Did a few custom one-offs on this one. It's the new Sandblast tumble that I've been doing, the new kind of tumble, so it gives a little more shinier appearance, but it's pretty subdued, real smooth, and keeps the edges real nice, but it kind of rounds everything over so it doesn't make it sharp. The custom pivot, and then I went through and rounded it over and polished it. Turned out pretty cool. Other side's just satin. Backspacer's custom on this one. Went through and machined it out for a floating backspacer. Ground out into the middle. Top here too. And I'm doing a new technique now, which will be going on all the folders. This one is the old design from Blade. It doesn't have the lock insert, but it does have HRD. The new thing that I'm doing is smoothing out the action on these. After going to Blade Show, I learned quite a bit, just wandering around playing with other guys' knives, especially like John Grimsmo. His knives are freaking ridiculously smooth, so it really pushed me towards getting a little smoother. So I went a little harder on these. I'm taking the flats to 800 grit before the acid stone wash, and I mask off the area that's going to ride on the bearings. Made a huge difference. I was just taking them to 220. Now it's just, you can't even feel it. And with the HRD in there, it's ridiculous. So the guy's getting this is lucky he's getting it because I had planned on keeping this one, but I guess I get to make myself a new one. Plus I got some prototypes coming out that I want to keep, so we'll see. Sterile blade on this one, but like the ones from Blade Show, if I can get it to focus. I don't know, lighting's not real great. There we go. It's engraved on the inside. Hoback Knives, 2013. So that's it for this. Let me run out to the shop and I'll show you the progress on the A8s that I got going so far. I decided to run a few more sets of frames of A8s, and then I'm running 15 A15s along with this. So I think I might run 30 A8s and 15 A15s since I had a couple extra seats to tie, but I don't have enough steel to run the blades for them, so that might be, I might just set it aside and do them next time. But I will take you guys out there and show you, so give me just a minute.